Alright, you guys, this is old Slappy. Old Slappy Adventures. Let's give you some garage talk. And who is my guest today? Nobody.
Stop me! You're gonna have to kill me!
Shit!
On three, Slappy Adventure. 1, 2, 3. Slappy Adventure.
It's just me. Hey, shout out to everybody that's passing through town. Come by here and give old Slapdog a holler. But just want to pop on here and just talk about a few things. I've been seeing a lot of content creators. They're going to Sturgis, right? And of course, you see, golly, it's got to be 95% Harley-Davidson, maybe 85. I don't know what the percentage is. Man, and I appreciate the channels that is true to it. And man, these guys are breaking down left and right. I mean, all bikes for that matter. But I'm just telling you, I watch Thrashing Supplies uh, and Two Lane Life. I love those. I love those guys, even though I don't have a Harley anymore. But I like their content. They ride, they travel. You know, they kind of tinker around with stuff. I'm a motorhead. You know, I like to see things being worked on and fabricated and fixed and all those things. But anyway, those guys was breaking down left and right. But you got mechanics, engineers, and fueling, and all these guys that knows how to work on bikes. So they self recovery. That's the thing. You got to have self recovery is the key. So I guess when I bought my M109, after wrecking my Hayabusa, that's a whole nother story. But when I bought my M109, I wanted to travel. And I said, shoot, I want to, travel on something, a cruiser. I wasn't even looking at touring bikes, but a cruiser, right? Because, how often do you get to travel? Once, maybe twice a year. So I got into it, and then, riding with my man Hambone and a few other guys, and they got really, they was in clubs, and they traveled to club events, but he wanted to travel, like I was going to do, because I like going to national parks, seeing, cities, national parks, and not just running to a club party, right? So, riding with them guys, they was riding Harleys and Golden Wings. And I was kind of torn between Harleys and Gold Wings. I'm like, man, what do I do? I got to doing the research, and back in, this is a 2012, so we'll say 2010, 2011 is when I really got serious about thinking about buying a touring bike. And of course, the Harley-Davidson, hands down, is a beautiful motorcycle, man. I love the way they look, love the way they sound, all that. But the history of the breakdowns, I'm definitely no mechanic, and I've learned a lot, working on my bike, dealing with Charlie B's eyes taught me a lot. Glenn Sloat on these new model bikes taught me a lot. Watching Cruiseman Garage, learning, through those type of situations, to do the maintenance and all that. But I wanted a bike that was going to let me travel with as less headache as I possibly could. So I had to actually kind of swallow a little bit of pride and get away from what I thought looked good. I don't guess I swallowed no pride, but I guess I had to put in perspective, what do you want to do? Maybe that's the right question. What do you want to do with your motorcycle? Do you want to look good? Style and profile. Now, I wasn't really much into culture, because I'm going to tell you something about me. When you can stand up on your own 2 feet, you don't need a brand or somebody's brand for you to stand out or be noticed or be liked, right? So I wasn't even thinking like that. It wasn't up until the last couple of years where I guess I got the red pill and like, you know, Gold Wings ain't as popular as Harley. The culture is Harley, 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 Harley. I'm like, wow. I grew up on sport bikes, and I like sport bikes, and I ain't never been no racer, but we go out there and play around and race them a little bit. But I ain't never been known as no racer. But that's on the tail the dragon. Get out there and have the fun. I had a Hayabusa, all kind of sport bikes, right? I wanted to travel, and I don't want to break down, right? So when I was going through the process of what bike I was going to get, either going to be the Gold Wing or the Harley-Davidson. Well, me riding with Hambone and some of the other guys, I mean, they was riding and profiling and having a good time and just talking to the guys with the Harleys. They always had some kind of issue. No knock on Harley. Now, I'm going to say that quite a bit through here. I'm not bashing y'all, man. I'm not. I'm talking about when I don't have that kind of money to be paying somebody to work on my bike, especially on the road. I wanted something that was going to be user friendly and as less breakdowns as I could. Anything man-made can break. Let's be clear. Anything man-made can break. So what I come up with was I was gonna get the Gold Wing. I did not like the way it looked. I didn't like it. I'm like, man, that daggum thing is ugly. I didn't care for it. And I'm talking about the 2012. And but I knew the reliability of the bike was going to be greater than the other choices that I had. So I used to always tease people with Harleys. I couldn't afford a Harley. They said, "What you mean? You can afford a Harley? What you mean?" I said, "I can't afford a truck and trailer I had to buy if I bought a Harley." Of course, that don't go over too well. But anyway, I went ahead. My buddy called me up, Z-Force, called me up and said, they've got a leftover model. This is a 12. Leftover model 12. It was 2014 in Knoxville. Still in the box. They're going to give you for this price. It was super low. He said, "Do you want it?" I said, "For how much?" So I called him up and he said, "Yeah, we can do it for this at the door." I'm like, wow, I want it. So they said, "Okay, we get it together." Now I said, "Well, I'll be home." That's when I was driving trucks on the road. I'll be home the weekend. So when I got it, they called me up. They said, "We got it together, got it, ordered and everything, put together. It's still in the box." He said, "Do you want to know what color it is?" I'm like, "Daggum, I guess I didn't discuss that." I said, "I guess it really don't matter for the deal that I'm getting." I said, "What color is it?" He said, "It's black and silver." Just the color that I was looking for. Love it. Love it! So, here it is, 2012. Honda Golden Wing GL 1800 with 112,000 miles. Anyway, this bike right here has been an awesome machine to me. It has not broke down ever. Thank you, Jesus. Knock on wood, whatever you want to knock on, but never had any issues with this motorcycle. I had a flat tire once. That's why I'm double dark side. I am double dark side on this. When the suspension went out, now suspension goes out, I went with the Traction. That is a brand new Traction suspension that I have for my 12, my F6B. So never had an issue with breakdowns. Never. I can't even describe to you what a breakdown is on this. The only time that I had a problem, the only time I had a problem is with my trailer wiring harness that goes to my bush, I was gonna say bush tape. Go to my Hannigan trailer right here. The wiring harness on the motorcycle went to acting bananas. It was a karaoke wiring harness. So I called Electrical Connection up, Lewis, talked to him, and he was like, do this and this, and we'll go ahead and.
Hey, you got a package. Hey, babe, what are you doing? Are you working on video? Oh, I mean, you got a package.
I've been waiting on this.
There's a new sheriff in town.
Discount code down below.
And his name is
CARDO.
You know what I mean? Y'all be cool. Right on.
All right, so called Lewis up. He talked me into putting a Band-Aid on it until I got to him. When I got to him, I called Karaoke and they said only way to fix it is call Lewis. Lewis has the fix. So anyway, for that, this bike here has a electrical connection wiring harness on it. So again, I just don't want to be dealing with breakdowns. I don't. I don't. I got tools. I got things to fix. I got fuses. You know, I got the things. I got gas. I carry gas wherever I go. But I don't want to deal with that. Some of these people, man, there's something going on with these bikes all the time. And if you like to work on them and stuff like that, that is cool. I don't, especially on the road trip. So I bought the Harley. Beautiful bike. First Harley I ever had. I went down the rabbit hole, y'all, because I was scared to death of that bike. But I did it, and had it about 8-9 months. Something I just woke up one day and said, man, get rid of it. It's gone. You know, I rode it to Florida twice. You know, there's a lot of things I was chasing. I was chasing the way this 2012 felt, right? If you don't know what I mean by chasing, I was trying to make that bike feel like this bike. And I couldn't. I put the seat on it. I put the doggone, everybody said, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this, you got to do that. I put the seat on it. I put the Breezy Ryder on it. The handlebars was good. The forward controls was crazy. I bought the extended brake lever that you could adjust. I couldn't get it right. It was just and they're two different animals. So don't get me wrong. I know that. But it was really driving me bananas, man. I just couldn't get comfortable on that bike to throw it around like I wanted to. And I just, you know, and the reason why I got it, the honest truth, the reason why I got it was I'm looking at all these guys doing this content on these Harleys, and their channels are growing and getting bigger and growing and stuff, and I'm sitting there like, they don't do half the things that I do. They ain't nowhere near anything to what I do on a motorcycle, period. You know, I've been to Mexico, Niagara Falls, don't know how many times, California, know how many, just camping. I like, daggum, shoot. You know, it's the bike. You know, it's the bike. I'm gonna get me a bike and get in the culture, and daggum, my channel grow. And I was chasing after somebody else's dream or somebody else's life, and that wasn't quite what it was. You know, I got a lot of flack from some of the gold wing guys. Oh, you ain't gonna this, you ain't gonna that. But I kept my gold wings. I didn't get rid of my gold wing. I just added that bike to the fleet. And that was by design, because I wasn't about to sell or trade in my bikes and then have buyer's remorse like I end up having. Ha! And didn't mess around and woo, boy, I'd have been sick if I'd have got rid of it. Anyway, I was gonna sell this one, and glad it didn't sell. I had it overpriced, but if you know, you know. And anyway, it wasn't for me. I'm going down the rabbit hole with somebody else's dream, and and I got people asking me to ride, and nothing was ever good enough. You didn't have this part on there. You didn't have that part on there. You gotta have this seat. It almost put me in mind of when I was riding sport bikes. You couldn't just go for a ride. Somebody wanted to test you. Somebody wanted to race you. Somebody wanted to daggum outwilly you. You never could just say, let's go for a ride. Definitely couldn't travel that bike. But it was always something that you had to do better than the next person that had one, or somebody always was wanting to try you. And I'm like, let's just go for a ride, buddy. I ain't got time to be racing and carrying on. So what I'm saying now, I went down the rabbit hole with that Harley. Something just told me, get this ain't for you, man. Because you had to have a cam, you had to have a this, you had to have a clutch, you had to have this. Even when I got the Harley, I was still not good enough because I didn't have certain parts on the bike. Then I had to get more of this, more of that. Then people that had different bikes didn't like the Harley, didn't want to ride with me because I had a Harley. And then the people that had a Harley didn't want to ride with me because I didn't have this part on there. And then I'm just like, man, this is crazy. Never got that kind of peer pressure on the go way. So I just woke up one day. I offered it to some people to buy my bike. And I knew I was going to take an L. If you don't know what an L means, I mean a loss. I knew I was going to take a loss. So I was like, man, hey, give me what they going to give me and I'll let you have it. They was bulljacking around, so I let the Smoky Mountain buy it back. Took my L and sold a couple of bikes, and I was down to one bike. I had this bike for a few months before that bike came available. And then I was like, well, hell, I wanted something totally new, motorcycle. And so I went with the DCT. It's a Gold Wing, but it's a different total animal. Now, what's the difference between these bikes besides the looks? This bike the 12 is much bigger, big body bike, much bigger. This bike, I've had it for years, rides better than the 25. You say, well, how can an older bike ride better than the new bike? Well, this has got traction suspension. Enough said with that. This is stock suspension. Eventually, if everything works out, this bike will have traction suspension too. But HeliBars on both. This one's double dark side. I got Road WGTs on this one. I got a Diamond Harco seat, 4.5 seat cut back. This one's a Ultimate seat, 2.5, I think it's 2 inches cut back. Both of them's got Breezy Ryder. Both of them's got mashed that windshield. I love both the bikes. This bike right here has been proven to me, this 12, to be an awesome machine. It has not let me down yet. I'll take it anywhere. And this one's got a super brace on it, by the way. So many parts on this bike that I even forget about. And can't wait to get back on it. But when I got this bike, I wasn't real happy with the way it looked. I wasn't. I didn't. I'm like, dang on this bike. It's growed on me now. I like the way it looked. Harleys do look good. I ain't gonna say look better, but I like the way Harleys look. They do. They sound great. This got Two Brothers exhaust. Sounds great. This has got Shark Road exhaust. I think I've got the right two motorcycles for me right now. Me and Thumper can ride on this in the comfort and everything and travel, and then I can go by myself on this one. But if you want a motorcycle and you want to fit in, go with a Harley. If your pocketbook can stand it, go with a Harley. If you can stand up on your own 2 feet and know that's what you really, really want and not be peer pressured, get what you want. It ain't got to be a Gold Wing, but get whatever bike that you want, and I hope you got the right one that don't have a lot of breakdowns. The bottom line, I don't want to be having no breakdowns. I want to enjoy the ride. I want to go see what I come to see. I want to go slap some people on the hand, get me something good to eat, and I want to come home. But I don't want to be on the side of the road dealing with nothing. I know tires blow. I've only had, all the years I've been riding, I've only had one blowout. And that was on this bike, 2 up with a motorcycle tire. That's why I've been double dark side for over, golly, gotta be 10 years now. Double dark side put at least 80 to 90,000 miles with a car tire. Rear tire in the front, car tire in the back. And it's a run flat. And once I get done with the run flat and it gets down to the wear mark, I take it off and put on spare rim for my son's Honda. Right? Honda car. So, get the right bike, man. I've got a lot of things done to this bike. And this has been an awesome bike. Can't wait to get back out there and riding on it. And I can't wait to get out here on this daggum automatic DCT riding on it. If you was wondering of all the things that I have on my bike, Darkness, my 2025 Honda Golden Wing, here they are. Links are down below. Please like, share, and subscribe.
Hey, thanks for watching another episode of Slappy Adventures. Please like, share, and comment. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Hey, stay tuned for more videos like these. Thanks for watching.